Good morning. Happy Friday. It is a beautiful day for a Friday. I'm just gonna wait a second here for the live to connect. But in the meantime, I wanted to thank you so much for tuning into Hello, good morning. I wanted to talk a little bit about a couple different things today, but firstly I want to thank you so much for tuning in to today. I'm super excited to chat with you. What I want to talk about today is, so I was watching this show last night and it's called 13 Reasons Why. And I think you may have heard of it before. Maybe not. It was a really big, it was really big a couple years ago, I guess, and I think still was. And so I was watching this show last night because I had started it like years ago, and I was like, you know what, let me just finish the series so I can just kind of like check it off the list, and I don't have to, worry about like having all these unfinished shows and all this stuff, right? So I'm watching this show, and it's the season finale of the last season. You guys, it was so sad. And I was so sad after watching this, okay? That I carried those emotions throughout the entire night and when I woke up this morning. And when I woke up this morning, I was like just in this really like negative headspace, really like just not, I was like, oh, it's like, do I have to do this today? And I think that it begs the conversation that this is something that happens often, that we don't talk a lot about. Sometimes we have a bunch of different emotions, and I feel like, with the way that social media is and the way that it presents itself is that, we have to be a certain way or like always look like we're having the best time or like living the best life and like doing all of that. And I think that it's so detrimental to growth and success to not acknowledge all of the feelings that exist and how they can coexist together, and that not every single day is going to be sunshine and rainbows, but it's about appreciating the days that are not sunshine and rainbows so that you can appreciate the ones that are, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of like a double. So then when I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh my God, I was so emotionally invested into this show. And because it felt so real, you know what I mean? Like everything that was in it felt like it could happen in real life. And, you think about the idea of maybe like loss or, changes that happen in life or anything like that. And I think that it's just really important to talk about because nobody talks about it. And it's like, we all experience loss in some ways. Some ways are more, bigger than others, if you will, but I don't think that any amount of loss is greater than somebody else's. Does that make any sense? Anyways, so I was thinking about this today, and so I wanted to offer two things to this conversation. So one of the things that I wanted to say was that even though you may not always be happy, or you may not always be in like a positive mindset, or you may not always, wake up every single day and be like, okay, yes, like today's the day, because some days are like that, and then some days aren't like that. Some days you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, okay. So what I wanted to say is this: give yourself the permission to feel the feelings that you feel all the time. It doesn't matter if, it doesn't really matter if other people understand or not. You know what I mean? Like, you have to honor your feelings and you have to honor who you are in your space all the time. And so if that means that, today you're not as peppy or happy as you were the day before, that's totally okay. But show up for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, show up for yourself. Honor the emotions that you're in. Honor where you're at right now. And, with this idea of this show, for those who just joined the live, I was talking about this show that I watched last night that put me in like this really negative headspace. It's a great show. It was called 13 Reasons Why. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. And it's an amazing show. And it was a season finale, and I was like so devastated. And also feel free to join in the conversation. You can use the comment box here. And anyways, it was a really, really good show. And, so then it kind of like tumbled me into this like negative headspace. And then so I woke up this morning and I was like trying to figure out, okay, now it's time to realign. Now it's time to, sit in my feelings and feel them and be okay with them and be accepting of them, and then understand why I'm having those feelings to begin with, where they stem from, and then how can I use it to empower other people? How can I use it to empower myself? You know what, Jess, it's crazy. The first 2 seasons of that show were like insane. So then I was so invested in this show, and I wanted to see it through to the end, and like the end was just so sad. I felt like these were like my friends. It was like crazy. Anyways, so now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, okay, like everything is fine, like everything is fine. But what I want to say the most out of all of this is that, you know, good things happen all the time, bad things happen all the time. We feel, you know, all the different ranges of emotions all the time. And I think that it's not enough to just, you know, glaze over them. You know what I mean? Like you need to feel all of the feelings all the time. And then you need to figure out how those feelings can add value to your, like, how do they add value to your own life? You know what I mean? How do they add value to your life? Like, what are you learning in that moment? Whether it's, because I know you're an anxiety coach, so whether it's helping people, you know, with anxiety, like that's a big emotion, like that's a big thing. And so it's like, it's not bad though, you know what I mean? Like anxiety can be transformed, and everything can be transformed. And so ultimately what I was thinking about this morning is I woke up and I was like, okay, we need to shift the mindset a little bit here. It doesn't mean that I need to like wake up and be like, oh my God, this is the best day of my life. Like, no. I had to wake up and I was like, okay, I need to like shift this emotion and I need to like transform. So I'm like, okay, let's do that. So I woke up, and what I did was I committed to myself to stick to my morning routine. And so it's in times like this that makes it so easy to just let go of our, you know, our commitments to ourselves, to just, you know, ignore the promises that we've made to ourselves, not really worry about, you know, that commitment that we've made, and just being like, okay, like, I don't really need it. You know what I mean? Anyways, so what I think is so important here is that when you're in a time of struggle, when you're in a time of, you know, whatever emotions you're feeling, it's like, you know, how are you honoring that? But then also, how are you continuing to move forward in who you like in what you're surrounding yourself with? And exactly like you're saying, like, gotta be careful not to absorb everyone else's energies. I totally agree. Cleansing is super important. I completely agree. And I do all of these things. Like I do all of these things, but I'm also a huge empath. So I identify very easily with different people's emotions. Hi, Amanda. Very easily. And so it's very easy to bring on that energy. So you're right. Exactly. What are you doing to sort of protect your space and protect your energy, right? And so, you know, it's not about what happens so much as what do you do with the time that you have? What do you do with the time that you are, you know, given? How are you impacting lives? How are you creating change? How are you creating transformation within yourself and then within others who you're serving as well, right? Because this is an industry of support and love and connection. And so, you know, you need to be able to support your own self, and then and support your own self and your own emotions, and then also support other people as well. So like you're saying, Jess, like having those cleansing rituals, absolutely, I totally agree. And I think that it's really, really important. So all to say that this show just really made me think about, you know, what I value, what's important, and then how do I continue to move through my day and like release the energy that is being like built up. So like, you know, I can feel the energy like in my bones, in my muscles, like everywhere. And so I was like, you know what? I was like, okay, so this morning it was meditation and then it was yoga. And I was like, okay, great. And then that brought me back to like a caliber level of feeling good and feeling aligned. And, you know, and I think that that's the transformation. That's where the transformation happens. It's in those little moments when you get to choose again. It's in those little moments where you get to create, create your reality. And I use this word a lot, like creating your dream, creating your reality. But it's like your reality can be whatever you want it to be. Your dream can be whatever you want it to be. And so it doesn't have to always be aligned to business. It can be aligned to who you are as a person, the life that you want to create. And I feel like as entrepreneurs, we carry so much all the time in always giving. So it's about how do you replenish and how do you receive back. Oh, thank you. My hair looks good today. Thank you. It needs to be washed tomorrow. So going one more day over here, but thank you. But yeah, so anyway, so that's all I wanted to say today. I'm going to post the replay of this on my Instagram page, in my Facebook group, and then on my YouTube channel as well. So you can join in the conversation in the comments If you have any other questions, please just let me know. Let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know what you loved about this. I just found this was a really important topic, and I don't think that it's spoken about enough. Like, I think it's this false idea of like this false reality of always having to be happy and always having to be on point and always having to be, you know, showing this image of perfection. But it's like, what even is that and why? Like, who cares? You know what I mean? I shouldn't say who cares. Like, I mean, no, actually I do say that. It doesn't matter, because it's like blinders on and live your life for you based off of what you want to do and what's important to you. Honor the people that you love, create relationships in your life that are important to you. And then, you know, support those and show that love, extend that love straight from your heart center all the way to somebody else. So thank you so much for tuning in to this live today. Lots of people hopped in and out, and I love that. I love seeing new faces on here. And so I will be back again Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern time for the second week, I guess, of the Align Your Mind series. This is a new series that I started this Monday that just passed. And yeah, so I'm excited to continue on these conversations. Every single day I just hop on and talk about something that's on my heart. And pretty often it lands pretty well, which is quite amazing. So it means that a lot of the people have very similar thoughts and very similar challenges that you're experiencing, but just know that you're supported. And I'm here for you. If you need anything at all, my DMs are always open. I'm here to chat. We can walk through whatever it is that's going on for you. Just know that you're supported. Just know that you are loved and you're appreciated. And I'm wishing you a beautiful day and like a beautiful, beautiful weekend ahead. And enjoy every single moment and really live in it. It can be hard to do when we're sitting at home, but, you know, still finding the time to give love and to be very, you know, gracious with who we are as people. So that's it. There really is no such thing as competition. Pave your own path only. I love that. I really, really do. And it's like, you know, no one's coming to create it for you, right? So yeah, I love that a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Jess, for all of your beautiful comments. I'll see you all on Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and you can catch the replay. Let me know what you think in the comments. Bye.